This is Will County's News Talk Sports 1340 WJOL. It's time for the Money Talk radio show brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Hey, learn more about purchasing a home at NuMark's Chill with the experts on June 24th. This event could help save you thousands of dollars on your next home purchase or your first home purchase. You will be able to listen to a panel of local professionals answer your home buying questions. It's free, and you're welcome to bring friends and family. Seating is limited. Visit newmarkcu.org to find out how to register, or by calling 815-729-3211 and ask for more information. That's 815-729-3211. Also want to remind you that at the end of the program today, we're going to give away a $25 Visa gift card. It'll be free to you for just listening to this program. How do you win? Well, you listen to my conversation with our expert today, and we will give you the answer to the question. Well, what is the question? We don't know yet. It's whatever wisdom this gentleman will impart on us. I'll pluck something from what he says and then turn that into a question. You know the answer. You win the $25. Harry Stewart is the NuMark Credit Union Vice President of Mortgage Lending. In other words, he's a big fish. Harry, good morning, my friend.
Hey, Scott. How are you?
You ever been called a big fish before?
Never.
First time for everything, pal. First time for everything.
How's your summer going so far?
You know what? I looked down and saw that it's already June 17th. That ain't good.
I know.
That ain't good. We get so excited about summer coming, and well, let's get here, and then all of a sudden, it just flies right by. But that's okay. So let's talk about buying homes today. Harry is going to discuss first steps to your first home. So Harry has been with NuMark for many, many years now, Vice President of Mortgage Lending. He's seen the good times. He saw 2008 and 2009. He saw the last few years where we were historically low in terms of mortgage rates, like 2.5 that I got from Harry at NuMark Credit Union. And he's seeing where we're at right now at the 7%, Harry. So you literally could write a book about the ups and downs of the mortgage world.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are a lot of peaks and valleys, but I guess it's life,
Yeah. That's true. And what's interesting, too, is we're sitting here 7-ish, give or take. And 15, 20 years ago, people would have killed for a 7-ish mortgage rate.
I know. It's all relative. So I remember back in, it was the late 90s, and I quoted somebody a rate. It was like 7.375, and I'm like, the rates will never be this low, and as we know, we fast forward, and the rates definitely got significantly lower than that. So, it's all relative. So if we're used to 10% rates and they go down to 7%, it's great. But if we're used to 3% rates and it goes up to 7%, it's bad. So it's all relative to what you're used to.
Yep.
So
no doubt about that.
Still, to touch on your point, like the rates are still historically low,
right?
Compared to, so.
Other than that blip on the radar for about 3 years there where things were low. So what we'd like to do today is talk about some of the steps to purchase a new home. We need to find out about credit scores, about different programs that are offered by NuMark Credit Union. So I think a step-off point would be the first steps that people need to take care of and plan for when purchasing a new home, Harry.
Yeah, the very first step that you have to do when you're looking to purchase a new home is you have to get pre-qualified. It kind of gives you a roadmap of like how much you could spend, how much you could afford, what your payments are going to be. Kind of gives you an idea of where you're going to be at. So that's what I would say is the very first step. And it's pretty easy to get pre-approved. You come into any one of our offices and make an appointment with one of our loan officers, or you could always apply online and call you back almost immediately and work up a pre-approval or some different pre-approval options for you. And we'll kind of guide you and help you into that program that's going to best suit your needs. So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, and budget's important, but that credit score is massive. That will take us to a certain direction, hopefully, that we want to go. And if not, we're going to talk about what to do to fix that. But credit score, first and foremost, potential buyers need to learn all about it.
Yeah, credit score is super important. It gives what I would have said maybe 5 years ago, it's going to get you a lot better rate, a lot better options. But now it's more of like a flexibility. The higher the credit score that you have, you just have better flexibility within those programs and those approvals. So you could do more. You could do more with a better credit score. If your credit score has some blemishes or a few bumps and bruises, it's not like we're going to say no. We'll say something like, well, maybe not right now, or hey, if you do this, and this, we'll take another look in 60 to 90 days. We'll see what we put together. But it's never a no when you're working with a credit union. We just we're here for our members, so we're gonna try to do everything we can to enrich their financial lives. So
sure. What happens if, and it happens frequently, there are blemishes on credit scores?
You know what? Sometimes the blemishes aren't going to be enough to prevent us from doing a pre-approval or purchase, but sometimes there's going to be a blemish on there or a couple blemishes that's going to either lower the credit score. The credit score is going to be a little bit too low, or it's going to be a significant derogatory event like a bankruptcy or something like that. And in the case of like a bankruptcy or previous foreclosure, we would just have to basically just do the waiting period, whatever the required waiting periods are for those two significant derogatory events. We'd have to wait. But if it's during that waiting period, we could also be building up the credit profile, so the scores are back in place by the time we decide to do something. Or if it's something small, like maybe just some delinquencies or a charge off, we could correct that and work on that while and then possibly do a pre-approval within a couple months, or sometimes almost right away. So it's not the end of the world to get some of those blemishes. So we actually have that a lot.
So moving from credit to income, something else very, very important. You need a certain level of it in order to buy a home.
Yes, income is very important also. I always break it down into like the 3 C's of lending, credit, capacity, and collateral. And capacity encompasses income and debt ratio. If you're looking at, there's not a specific income amount you need to make in order to buy a home, but there is a debt ratio. And those debt ratios, I would say typically the max debt ratios on most programs, you're going to be about 50%. Sometimes you could go a little bit over. Sometimes these automated approval systems will want it a little bit lower, but I'd say 50% is probably a good debt ratio guideline for people looking to purchase their first home. But with debt ratio is just going to be your gross monthly income versus your gross monthly expenses. And that's how we would come up with that ratio, and everything goes into that.
Right.
It's going to be not only your mortgage, your homeowner's insurance, the real estate taxes, mortgage insurance, any auto bills, any credit card bills, all that stuff actually is built into the ratios. So come up with a figure, and we'll run it through the system. Sometimes it'll prove it, depending on the loan program, it'll approve over 50%. And sometimes it won't. I would say to feel comfortable, you probably want to be, it's all personal preference for being comfortable, but I would say you probably want that debt ratio in the 30s, to feel comfortable.
Sure, absolutely.
Probably want even want a super high debt ratio. You want to have furniture in your house and,
Yeah,
and
that's
food
true.
on the table too, right?
That's very, very true. We're talking to Harry Stewart, Vice President of Mortgage Lending for NuMark Credit Union. First steps to your first home. There are programs available for home buyers, and there are a handful of them, and it's not a one-size-fits-all, is it?
No, it's not. There's several first-time home buyer programs. Obviously, we have the traditional FHA, and we've got the 3% down Fannie and Freddie programs. The Home Ready for first-time home buyers. It's kind of a nice program. It gives you kind of a little bit lower rate, a little bit lower mortgage insurance. It has some additional flexibilities to help with that approval. And we also have that Down Payment Plus program, which we're partnered with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, and they give us about $1 million to give away in $10,000 grants to our members. So it's a real strong program. We do, I don't know, probably doing maybe 10 or 12 of these things every single month.
Wow.
It helps. Is one of the biggest hurdles is coming up with down payment, and this program allows us to give $10,000 for our members to purchase their home, to use towards down payment.
Harry, what are the specifics of that? How do people qualify? How can they utilize this?
So the qualification's actually pretty easy. It's not based on credit score or debt ratio or anything like that. I always like to tell people we basically have the keys to the cookie jar here, because we submit the application for the grant. Federal Home Loan Bank's been a great partner. They'll approve it usually within 24 hours, but it's very income sensitive. So it's based on household income. So if you have 4 people in the house, you're going to use the income from all 4 people, and you have to be at 80% of the HUD median income levels for that county that you're purchasing in or below. So just to give you an example, a family of 4 in Will County, we could go up to, we just need the income levels to be below 95,900. So
Okay.
if a husband and wife, 2 kids would qualify if their household income's at 95.9 or below.
All right, so this isn't just for low-income people. I mean, that's a decent, income for a home.
Yeah, they just increased that earlier this year, and it's kind of expanded to let us offer it to many more members, than in the past. But yeah, 95,000 for family of 4 is pretty substantial in Will County, and it's actually the same in Cook County and DuPage.
Right.
When I look at it, and if it's a single person household, I think the income was just over 67,000.
Okay.
For one person household. So just because you're buying a home by yourself doesn't mean you wouldn't qualify for the grant, but it is income specific.
Harry, is this limited to a certain amount that they can give out, if you will?
Yeah, they give us. Well, they were giving us. They started. We've been doing this program for quite a number of years, but they started giving us $400,000 every year. But this past year, they gave us $1 million.
Oh, wow.
In grant money to give away to our members. So I don't think we'll use it all. So, but you never know. There's a high demand for that because as we both know, housing affordability is the big thing right now. We're trying to make housing affordable for as many people as we can, and with the home prices going up and taxes going up and insurance going up, the cost of home ownership is just high right now. So anything we could do to help that out is definitely a plus.
Yep, no doubt about that. And it affects the overall affordability of purchasing a home. I think it's, around $10,000, around $60 a month on your mortgage, give or take?
Yeah. It's a good figure to use. Yeah. $60, $70 a month.
Yeah,
So,
and that's real dough. Okay, let's talk about mortgage providers. What should first-time home buyers look for in a mortgage provider?
I would look for, I would say just look for a professional. I would say, like, the plus is going for us at the credit union. We're not in it for profit. We're a non-for-profit. We don't look to we don't make more money for charging you higher fees or anything. Everything's basically a pass-through service for our members. So we're not looking to bring in any extra. Like, if you go to these online forums, like if you're talking with Rocket Mortgage or Guaranteed Rate, they go back and forth. Like, I was able to beat a credit union's rates. Like, the only reason that our rates and our fees are going to be lower than most of our competitors is we're not looking to make a ton of money from our members. We're just trying to provide a service and enrich their financial lives. So I guess that's what makes us special.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I would. But if you're looking for like what to look for in a mortgage professional, I'd just say, hey, just go with somebody professional. Maybe not like an online lender. I think that's probably the most important.
I would definitely agree with that. Best time of year to look for a house. Everybody talks about the spring buying season. What do you think?
I would say that's pretty accurate. It just seems like right after, I would say right around Valentine's Day, the market just picks up. But you could also say that maybe it's a more competitive market in the spring. You could probably get less competition if you're buying in maybe some of the times that might not be too busy, like September, maybe around the holidays, November, December. Maybe you're not going to have as much competition. Like, won't get into as many bidding, But I don't know. We've always been busy, like in that spring market, and always been like the purchase market hasn't been super strong after Thanksgiving all the way up until usually February. So.
And Harry, lastly, how can a person that is looking for their first or next home, how can they get started? What's that point where they can jump in?
The easiest thing to do would be to give me a call. My direct line is 815-744-6767. You could also go to our website, www.numarkcu.org, and go to mortgage loans and apply. There's a brief 10-minute application on there. They could fill that out, and as soon as they submit that, we'll bring it in and work up some different pre-approval options for them.
Okay.
But that's probably the easiest way, and you could always stop in any of our branches. We're kind of scattered all over Will County, Cook County, and we've got branches out in the Earlville area also.
Good. So. Good. Never have I ever been to Earlville? I think I have. Doesn't take long to get through Earlville.
No, it's not that bad.
No, not at all. Hey, real quick. What's that?
I live about halfway there anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's. You take the wrong turn out of your driveway, you probably go through Earlville, right?
Yeah,
probably do.
I don't know if it's that extreme, but
hey, real quick. So, give me a state of, and this is in your opinion, the state of the housing market right now. I talk to a lot of realtors and a lot of mortgage professionals as well, and they're saying that prices have come down just a little bit, but demand isn't as high. People are not getting, and I don't know if I believe this or not. I'm not a real estate agent, so I should believe them. But I'm starting to hear that we're not getting multiple full price offers. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I'd say year over year, I want to say the inventory has improved. Maybe there's some more people sitting on the fence, but I will say, like, over the last couple months, we picked up a lot. And I know everything works in cycles, but I would say over the last couple of months we've gotten pretty busy. So I wouldn't say it could be, maybe specific to our region, but I feel like we've been pretty busy over the last few months.
Good.
Like kind of like what we were touching on before.
Yeah.
I think it's an affordability thing.
Yeah.
And you see, the rates might be a little bit higher than they were 5 years ago. The home price is a little bit higher. Taxes, insurance, like everything's
higher,
going up.
Yeah.
Faster than like our wages are. So it makes it like we're getting squeezed a little bit.
Yeah, homeowners insurance.
Everything works out.
Yeah, homeowners insurance is one of those things you don't think about. You obviously have to have it, but I see homes that are $400,000 homes where people are paying almost $4,000 a year for homeowners insurance now. It's getting expensive.
It is. It's super expensive, and we don't even live in like California or Florida.
Yeah. Imagine that if you did. Harry, thank you, my friend. Always good catching up with my old friend Harry Stewart, Vice President of Mortgage Lending. Thank you for your time today, sir.
Thanks, Scott.
Learn about purchasing a home at NuMark's Chill with the Experts event on June 24th. This event could help save you thousands of dollars on your home purchase. You'll be able to listen to a panel of local professionals answer your home buying questions. The event is free, and you're welcome to bring friends and family. Seating is limited. Visit newmarkcu.org to find out how to register or call 815-729-3211 and ask for more information.